Donald Trump before his time in the White House, as well as ruling out having his own career in politics. During an interview on the BBC's The Andrew Marr Show, Clooney was asked if he ever saw himself, like some other actors, running for office.
Poll numbers come up and go down. I would expect them to go back up again.
George Clooney, Hollywood's golden boy, just became its biggest outcast overnight. His environmental ad backfired spectacularly, sparking a social media firestorm with Clooney hypocrisy trending worldwide.
President,
Sure,
because
I think
a lot
she
of
would be
people
great.
say this to you all the time.
No, she should.
But she would win immediately,
Yes, she
wouldn't
would.
she?
She
Like
would.
in a big way.
Yeah, she would win.
Right?
I don't know that that's true.
I
There's
do.
an awful lot of people.
Yeah, it was, well, you
Listen,
know.
the bottom line is, as you know, I've
Let's
now
not skip
said.
right to the bottom line.
The bottom line is okay. The bottom line is that it's very hard to let go of.
But that's just the beginning. Major studios are dropping him like a hot potato, and Ocean's 14? Canceled. Clooney's shocking fall from grace is sending shockwaves through Tinseltown. What caused this massive backlash, and can Clooney's career survive? Clooney's environmental ad wasn't just a flop, it was a career-destroying disaster. The Hollywood golden boy thought he'd score some eco points, but instead, he unleashed a tidal wave of backlash that's drowning his reputation. In the commercial, Clooney decided to lecture everyday folks about climate change. Big mistake. Huge. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So, did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video. Picture this. Clooney, standing there in his designer suit, wagging his finger at the camera and telling us peasants we're not doing enough to save the planet. Meanwhile, he's jetting around in his private plane and lounging in one of his many mansions. The hypocrisy was too much for fans to swallow. Within hours, social media exploded.
In a devastating way, unqualified.
So now, fake movie actor George Clooney,
Yeah.
he doesn't know that movies are fake. What does Clooney know about anything, says the host of Celebrity Apprentice.
Clooney hypocrisy started trending worldwide faster than you can say privileged celebrity. Fans weren't holding back. One furious tweet summed it up perfectly. Clooney is preaching to us while living a life most of us can't even dream of. Ouch. The truth hurts, doesn't it, George? But it didn't stop there. Fans started digging up the dirt on Clooney's lavish lifestyle. Multiple mansions? Check. Private jet? Double check. Carbon footprint the size of a small country? You bet. The more people dug, the worse it got for poor George. Before Clooney's team could even grab their damage control playbook, the backlash had spread beyond social media. Mainstream news outlets picked up the story, and suddenly George's face was plastered across every TV screen and newspaper for all the wrong reasons. Clooney's PR team went into overdrive, desperately trying to contain the damage. But it was too late. The ad had become a symbol of everything people hate about out-of-touch Hollywood elites. One commenter nailed it. "I've loved his movies, but this feels like a slap in the face. I can't take someone seriously who talks about saving the planet while living in luxury." So how did Clooney's little environmental crusade backfire so spectacularly? Simple. He forgot the golden rule of celebrity activism: practice what you preach. People are sick of being lectured by millionaires who don't follow their own advice. Clooney's ad didn't just fail. It exposed the massive disconnect between Hollywood and reality. Now, Clooney's left scrambling to save his career as the industry turns its back on him. But with every studio in town distancing themselves faster than you can say box office bomb, it looks like George might need to start looking for a new day job. Maybe he can make an ad about that? Remember when George Clooney's name was box office gold? Well, that golden era just came crashing down harder than a house of cards. We've got the inside scoop on which major studios are slamming their doors in Clooney's face. And trust us, it's not pretty. Warner Brothers just dropped a bombshell that's shaking Hollywood to its core. They've officially shelved Ocean's 14, the project Clooney's been pushing for years. Why? Because they're scared stiff of the backlash from his recent controversy. That's right, folks. The studio bigwigs are running scared from the Clooney curse. But wait, there's more. Paramount's joined the Dump Clooney Club too. They've axed an animated film where George was set to lend his voice. No explanation given, but we all know the real reason. It's like Clooney's got the plague, and every studio in town is desperate to avoid catching it. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Our inside sources tell us Clooney's not taking this lying down. He's been having some heated discussions with studio execs. And by heated, we mean full-on screaming matches. Clooney's accusing Hollywood of censorship, can you believe it? Talk about biting the hand that fed you, George. But Clooney's temper tantrum is only making things worse. The more he lashes out, the faster his reputation crumbles. It's like watching a car crash in slow motion. You can't look away, but you know it's going to end badly. And get this, Clooney's not the only one feeling the heat. Other A-listers who've worked with him are getting caught in the crossfire. Julia Roberts, who starred in that disastrous ad with him, just had a major drama project canceled. Looks like the Clooney effect is spreading faster than wildfire in Tinseltown. So which other studios are running for the hills? Well, let's just say Clooney's dance card is looking mighty empty these days. His box office appeal has tanked faster than the Titanic. Studio insiders are whispering that his name, once a guarantee for success, is now box office poison. And the fans, they're jumping ship too. Polls show Clooney's popularity is in free fall, especially among his older fans who used to worship the ground he walked on. Ouch. That's gotta hurt, George. As the offers dry up and the doors slam shut, one thing's crystal clear. Clooney's career is on life support, and unless he pulls off a miracle comeback, Hollywood's golden boy might just be headed for early retirement. Who would have thought a single ad could bring down an empire? But in Tinseltown, you're only as good as your last hit, and right now, Clooney's star is fading fast. Clooney's epic fall from grace isn't just about one celeb's meltdown. It's a wake-up call for all of Hollywood. The elites are shaking in their designer boots, realizing their ivory towers aren't as sturdy as they thought. Social media's become a monster they can't control, and Clooney's just the latest victim. But let's not shed any tears for poor George just yet. The big question on everyone's lips, what's his next move? Will he crawl back with his tail between his legs, begging for forgiveness? Or will he double down and go full diva? Either way, Hollywood and fans are on the edge of their seats, waiting to see if this is the end of Clooney's reign or just the beginning of a whole new drama. One thing's for sure, Tinseltown will never be the same. Clooney's crash and burn is sending shockwaves through the industry. Celebs are scrubbing their social media, PR teams are working overtime, and studio execs are sweating bullets. Who's next on the chopping block? Only time will tell, but one thing's certain. In the age of cancel culture, no one's safe.